Hey y'all, my name's Kelly, and I'm actually going by one of my nicknames, which is Crazy 3B. Crazy with two eyes, 3B equals bitter blind bitch. And welcome to my Crazy Blind Life. Before you continue, go ahead, y'all, take a second, subscribe to me, and then, give me a comment. Let me know what y'all think. If you think that I ramble too much, you can say that too. Or if you like it, go for that. So, I want to tell you what's going on, and then I want to give you a little bit of background, and then my intentions for this channel. So, like I said, I'm blind. And pretty much September 26, 2016, almost 4 years ago, I was in a single car accident, and I really don't remember the details of it. There are a few things I remember, but a lot I don't. The results of that accident is that, well, let me back up. I was able to see for, I believe, 2 days. But after they did the second surgery on me is when I remember that things were getting dark. And I remember asking my parents when I was in the hospital, why are we sitting in the dark? Now, I was in the ICU for 5 weeks. What happened was my injuries is that I gashed open my head. I have a nice horseshoe-shaped scar on my head. My right eye was dangling out of socket. I remember seeing my reflection in something and seeing what I look like. My nose was actually broken off to the side. I busted out my perfect teeth that I had. 6.5 of them were busted out. I say half because the top half of one of my teeth was lodged up in my lip. That didn't get removed for about 8 or 9 months later in one of the surgeries. They had to trach me, and I was also on a feeding tube. I pretty much almost died. But the worst part about the injury, not how they had to shave my head. That sucked, losing my hair. My teeth, that really sucked. I didn't lose it, but my right eye essentially died. It's there, but now I have a prosthetic shell over it, so it's not the full eyeball. But it's a shell that goes over the eye that I have. And your eye is composed mostly of liquid, and I don't know exactly, but the part that shoots liquid through it is cut off. So anyway, but the worst part about the accident is going blind. It's been a rough road. I didn't just go blind. I've had 9 surgeries. I had 1.5 years of dental work. I have 2 sons, and they are now 13 years old and almost 17 years old. I can't stress enough how the worst thing is going blind. My life has changed. I used to be so independent. It's been a humbling experience. I'm never going to be able to see my kids again. Not going to be able to teach them how to drive. Not going to be able to meet their girlfriends. To watch my son when he walks for high school graduation. I'm missing out on so much. I have, me personally, have had such an appreciation before of art and just sitting there at the beach and watching the waves come in and crash down. This has taken a toll on my life. So I intend on telling y'all as we go on about how things are as of now, what I've had to basically relearn all over again. One of the things that I had to relearn, or not relearn, but definitely work on, is that with the brain, or with the my head getting gashed open, with it getting gashed open, suffered a huge brain injury. The effects of that is that I have problems articulating words. I've developed a stutter. I had a really bad speech impediment, and not even right now I'm having some problems. My friend wants to edit this. I don't want you to see me, not anything edited. So as I struggle to find words, or if I stutter, that's what I want you to see. I want you to get the real me. Not saying I was vain before the accident, and I know I'm not a 10, but I think I dressed up pretty good, and I think I had great teeth and hair and whatnot. The accident also, afterwards, made me feel like a freak. I definitely have to make jokes even now about being blind, but I felt like a freak. I had a patch over this eye. My head was shaved. I'm not trying to say this in a negative way towards anyone with cancer, but I remember how I would see someone with cancer, and when they were sick and they had no hair and wearing a bandana, well, that was me. I was wearing a bandana, I had a patch over this eye, and really tried not talking, or if I did, until I got my bridged teeth, so they're permanent. They're not removable now, but until I got those, I would talk with my hand over my mouth, so y'all couldn't see that I was missing teeth. I called myself a cyclops, and I could feel people staring at me. It's weird the senses you picked up. Now, with the accident also, one of the injuries was so much nerve damage in my face, and like I said, I was very skeletal because they had to stretch all the skin with my face, and with all the surgeries that I've had to have that put in my face about 3 times, I believe now. And it's still not what it was. Like I said, I called myself, a cyclops. I went for the first 2 years with wanting to die. And I'm okay with sharing this. Yes, it's very personal, but I want to be open, because if I can be there for someone that has gone through a similar experience, I want to say, hey, look at all I've gone through and I'm still here. But yeah, the first 2 years I didn't want to live. I still have a hard time, suffered a lot of depression, and I definitely get anxiety, large crowds, anxiety, too much noise, and I'm half Sicilian, so when we have family gatherings, that actually gives me more anxiety than being out at a bar. I just feel movement with hands flaring everywhere, arms, and just kids running all over the place. And yes, like I said, Sicilian, I talk with my hands a lot. But with the nerve damage that was in my face, especially with the left side of my face, my nose, for the first like 2 years, it would run constantly, and I wouldn't know it, and I would get embarrassed by that. I'd get embarrassed by my stutter. I'd get embarrassed by my speech impediment. I would just be sitting there and saliva could just fall out of my mouth. Um, I would take a drink of a soda and it would fall out of my mouth. It's been difficult, and I'm about to give you some of my background so maybe y'all would understand a little bit more why I'm still here. I've gone through a lot of challenges. But let me first tell you about my name. So, let's make a little light of what everything is since it got pretty serious. Everyone's always called me crazy. But I'm the good kind of crazy, okay? I'm not, psychotic. See, there's a difference. And I like saying the difference, telling y'all the difference. So, crazy is, say you pissed me off, I'm going to kick your ass. Not like I'm going to, try to fight now or even before. It's not just saying fight. I'm just giving y'all an example. But I would do off the wall shit all the time, like being drunk at a concert, someone would dare me, hey, go flirt with the cops. I would. And then I'd ask to take their pictures and then ask if I could play with their handcuffs. So that's just me. I like doing off the wall random stuff, but I also like to have fun. So that's crazy. Then there's psycho. So psycho is, you pissed me off, I'm gonna kill, you, your family, and your dog, and mail it to your sister. That kind of shit. So my name being Crazy 3B. So that's the crazy part. Help me out. I got a friend sitting right here. She doesn't want to be in this. That's the definition of crazy versus psycho. Or crazy versus psycho. So then we got 3B, the other part of my name. And I say that I'm a bitter blind bitch because I definitely turned bitter after the accident, going blind. So for y'all, you're gonna see from here on out my name, Crazy 3B. My real name's Kelly, but I hear crazy more than Kelly.